That is Gabe Henderson. My friend Gabe Henderson, North Carolina raised, worked for the F10, the Football Team Entertainment Network, and now is a host for Vikings.com and the Vikings Entertainment Network, VEN. My man, how are you?
I am great, PA. You know, it's always a pleasure to be on with you. We have done a lot of things together, so I know this is going to be another thing that we do that's just going to be more fun, and I'm excited to bring Vikings fans more coverage, more news, and more long hair. Even though you have a toboggan or beanie on, I'm excited to see what it looks like off camera.
The hell, you think I got some kind of sliding device on my head? Actually, this hat is protruding the way it is because you like the NBA, just like me, right?
Absolutely.
We text about it. Yeah, we text about it. We text and talk more than people know. And, you know, we talk about the NBA. And given tonight, you have Miami at Phoenix and Boston at Portland. Holy cow, Jimmy Butler at Booker. Those Suns are feeling good about themselves. Dame's coming off a 12-point game, kind of a crap game. CJ's out of his mind for the con artist. Meanwhile, here comes Jason and Jalen and Marcus Smart. Are you kidding me?
The reason, Chris Paul doesn't get enough credit for what he does for that Suns team. To go from, fourth best team in the West to the number one team in the West right now, Chris Paul has brought Devin Booker's game out. Chris Paul has brought DeAndre Ayton's game out. Now you talk about Damian Lillard. This is a guy, Stephen A said it the other day. I was wrong. Dame time is a real thing. We talk about Steph going hot, 20 points last night in the first quarter, broke Wilt Chamberlain's record.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard is on track to be a great point guard in this league. He already is, but what he's doing right now and the fact that he's being loyal through all of this. We hear all these guys talking about it's not about rings anymore. It's not about this and about that. The fact that Dame is doing it the right way, you got to respect his game.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess $160 million he's probably been given by the Portland Trailblazers might have a little bit to do with that loyalty. But no, I think you're onto something. And by the way, this show page piece with Gabe Anderson is not NBA fan line, but Damian Lillard, Portland, Oregon, and he comes from Weber State. So it just may be a small town thing, kind of like where you grew up in North Carolina when you played wide receiver for Liberty, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But you have a new joy in your life, and I'd like you to share.
Got a new joy. His name is Link. He is a black golden doodle. He is sleeping right now. I will bring him up or put him on my head like you did because his hair looks like a toboggan. He is 9 weeks old today.
9 weeks old. The picture you sent me, he's a freaking monster. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's only 8 pounds, which is crazy. It's the camera angle, PA. You got to bring the camera up a little closer, and it looks like he's 25, 30 pounds. But he got his shots today in a good mood. Poop, peas, he's trained. Now it's just a matter of us trying to get some sleep here because he doesn't like that too much.
Man, all my surrogates are getting dogs. Nordo, who's recording this and assisting with her, producer KFAN 9 to noon, he just got a dog named Archie. He lives adjacent to a pond or maybe a moat or some form of creek. And there was some wolves-related terrorism with Archie, and Archie's a tough guy. Hopefully the new puppy doesn't have any problems because you, young man, haven't even been here a year yet, have you?
No, been with the Vikings a year and 12 days as we record this on April 13th. But as far as in Minnesota, it hasn't even been a year. I think we're going on 9 months now. Yeah. So it's still fairly new, but it feels like I've been here for a while, especially with everything that's happened.
I got you, man. And that's what I'm leading into is we've talked about it different ways, but now it's just let's be real. You moved here from Washington, D.C. with your wife in a pandemic and absolute social unrest. So your wife moved here as a teacher and a very good teacher, and everything applies for her, but it's all virtual, right when you get here. And that's hard, man. So not even a year into it, you and your wife professionally leading to personally, how are things going?
So far, so good. I think now that she's able to teach in the classroom, that helps out immensely. She's vaccinated. She has everything going for her. So I think now, she got done teaching. Well, her school year ended in Virginia March 12th. So from March 12th to March 15th, she was at home teaching. And her being an outgoing person, being a culinary teacher, it's all in person. So like now being able to be around her students, her coworkers, it's like, okay, all right, now we got to make time for each other. And you bring a puppy in the mix now, it's like, okay.
That's great.
Yeah, it's going great, PA. Like now, the sun's starting to come out a little bit. I didn't think we would see it after the long winter. So it's starting to get adjusted. It's starting to feel like home.
Yeah, the sun's coming out. We got the puppy. We got Archie. We might actually even have a chance to face meet Justin Jefferson.
Seriously, can I uncross my fingers or?
I haven't met him either. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And I mean, I feel like we've seen him from afar, right? I mean, we've seen him in the booth, in the box. We've done so many things surrounding him, but the fact that we may be able to see him, for me, I've been able to interview 3 people in person now, including Ben Lieber today, and I'm just like, is it okay for me to be like talking to you? Like there was a point earlier, I was talking to Ben Lieber in the studio, but I was looking into the camera. I'm like, no, he's actually right here. So let's talk.
Oh, well, I mean, with Vikings Entertainment Network, Vikings.com, here on the show page, KFAN.com with Gabe Henderson. I know you guys have a lot of super exciting things coming up. I don't exactly know what all of them are. In a week, I'll be out there actually permitted to walk into the studio, which is great, do some studio work, interview Adam Schefter and Mike Florio for part of what kind of a show are we doing?
Vikings at Home presented by Mystic Lake. So you'll be hosting that show. You'll be interviewing those guys, and there's going to be so much more. You are hosting that show.
What happened to you?
When you have Florio and Schefter, and those are like the core of the interviews. PA, that is your show. Like
I haven't been in that beautiful studio in about a year. I might crack in the purge. So just be off on the side in case Skipper comes in and goes, here, go to the bullpen.
Yeah, hey, we need a relief pitcher. I'll take care of it, but I think you can pitch a no-hitter this game.
I hope so. Now that's going to be coming up soon, Vikings.com. The draft, man, we just have so many picks. Now we got that 14 in the second for now, and then it starts to multiply. So like at the end of the equation with a bunch of trading that is going to be done, what do you hope the team ends up with?
I think I hope the team ends up with a solid DN and then a solid offensive tackle. Whether it's, that is, I know we'll talk about it later, whether that is, shuffling the old line around or picking a legit left tackle. I think you have to have someone who can rush the passer first and then somebody who can protect Kirk. Yeah. And I think you can do that. You can be strategic in doing that. Maybe that's trading back. Maybe that's using some of your, fourth rounders, 2 third rounders, maybe combining some of those. Yeah. So Rick Spielman has a plan. He has a plan, but I'm on board of trying to figure out the trenches.
Yeah, and somebody like Wyatt Davis, a guard from Ohio State, man. I mean, he's a badass, and that's not a first round pick. I ain't exactly sure where, but it's kind of what you were talking about, and he can play left guard too. But that gets you into, as we say, 9 to noon, the curious case of Ezra Cleveland, where in a tough spot, did the best he could at right guard, had some good moments, had some bad moments, and never had done it, and now he's doing it at the highest level. So curious case of Ezra Cleveland 2021. What do you think? Where?
Let him compete. Bring a guy in.
I like that.
Whether he's left guard or left tackle, let those guys compete. Let the best player win. And if you have 2 guys that are solid at both of those positions, you pick, hey, Ezra, you're going to start at right guard. Or Ezra, you're going to start at left tackle. Wherever this other guy is, you're going to start at left guard because you guys are the best players at this position. Just let them compete. Everybody's talking about how did this guy fits in here. There's going to be a training camp this year. There's going to be hopefully fans back this year. So the motivation will be there to be able to get on the field. So let those guys compete, figure it out, and go from there. I think we're in a good spot, though.
Yeah, I'm a paid consultant for everything I do for my favorite football team. We got Gabriel over there, man. He's just the host and host with the most at the VEN and the .com. So I'm just going to lay it out like this. You go ahead and get me a Rashawn Slater, maybe the Elijah Cat with 3 names from USC. I'm good to start. And then in round number 3, man, I got somebody busting booty off the edge that I'm not ready to share yet, but I will. You were a wide receiver at Liberty. Okay, that is a Division I school, right?
Division One FBS. My last year they were FCS, and then there was a 2-year transition period. So now they won. This is their second year in a row they've won a bowl game. And,
you ever play the Bison, North Dakota State University?
PA, we made the playoffs my senior year of college, and we lost the game before again. The game before we were supposed to play North Dakota State to Villanova. Villanova had this guy named Don Cherry. We lost to him. It was 20 degrees and 20 miles per hour wind, but never played North Dakota State. That, like, if you play FCS football, no matter where you are, just to put some perspective, like if you play FCS football, your goal is to play North Dakota State because you know they're going to be there. So that was our goal going in. We lost the week before, but North Dakota State, they do it right up there, up here now.
Yeah. So would you have hooked Carson Wentz? Is it like that team? Well, I can't remember how old you are.
I am 29. So Carson Wentz, he was there. He was there when I was there.
Yeah. Okay. We're just going to end it right here where into that Villanova piece, Mr. Liberty was kind of making it sound like he got robbed of an opportunity to play Carson Wentz. No, you got robbed of an opportunity to have your heart yanked out of your body in Frisco, Texas. So just be happy he was looking out for you.
The fact of just making it there at that point, right? Like if he loses, all right, so be it. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, you're a wide receiver trying to play NDSU. You're like 5'2". So, I mean, you're just trying to get in the game and be the Liberty version of Wes Welker, or would that be Lance Moore, and just like get up and down the field. So do you like the NFL bit better, or you like the headband?
I think the headband is more entertaining.
Okay. Gabe. So given you are an elite 9-route mind as a wide receiver, any, not that wide receiver with JJ and Thielen and stuff like that is a super big priority here, but any wide receivers you love in the draft?
I'm a big Dax Newsome guy from UNC. 5'11", 190, ran a 4.38 at his pro day. The past 2 seasons, I believe, was over 100 catches, 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns. Like the guy can pretty much do it all. But the fact he's not a blazing guy. Like when he's on film, you don't say, "Hey, this guy's going to separate from anybody." But when he gets the ball in his hand, he makes plays. And I think right now the Vikings are looking for a slot receiver. You have Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson on the outside. We need somebody that can, stretch the safeties, put pressure on the linebacker up the middle. And I think a guy like Dax Newsome or Terrace Marshall Jr. from LSU.
No.
Like Terrace Marshall Jr., I mean, he played in the shadows of Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase the past 2 seasons, but still 48 catches last year, 10 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns in the national championship season in 2019. He ran a 4.38 40, 6'3", 200, can play in the slot also. Like this is like there are some really good slot guys out there. Like we don't need a big, long, rangy wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think we need somebody that can put the pressure on, the middle linebackers and the safeties that don't mind taking hits. Like that was kind of what I did when I was in college. Like put me across the middle. Yeah, I'll take a hit. But, the first down. We'll keep the chains moving.
5'2", they couldn't see you. I mean, you were a yards after catch machine because you operated under the ground. Hold on. Was the guy's name Terrence Newman?
Yeah, no, Terrace Marshall Jr.
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Yep.
And it's Jamar Chase, right?
Yep, Jamar Chase.
Maybe they all came to see Jamar Chase and they left talking about Terrence Marshall Jr. on the game. Now, do you think this is too simplistic? Because maybe a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL could say it. Protect Kirk and he will kill you. That's it.
I mean, you hit it right on the head. I mean, if you look at his November stats, let's just talk about November, right? Where he should have won Offensive Player of the Month. 994, I think it was like 70% completion percentage, almost 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like I think he only got sacked 4 times during that time frame. Like the guy was balling. I mean, if you look at the Carolina Panthers game, those last 2 possessions, 12 of 13, 2 touchdowns. Like he's just, like Nate Burleson says, gripping and ripping. When you let Kirk Cousins get the ball, grip it in his hand, see somebody and then rip it. Top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league, just get some people in there to protect him.
Yeah.
He can make the plays.
I mean, if you're like, let's go the obvious, Russ, A-Raj, and Brady, and just so we know all of the names. And now you can, prognosticate Burrow. I don't put him there yet. Herbert, he's getting close, but not there yet. So yes, take those quarterbacks out of it. So Kirk, if you're looking at a second tier guy, 6 and up, 7 and up, or whatever, okay, we'll be right there. But like those around there or behind him, not a lot of them can say, or you can say, protect him and he will kill you. In this division, I don't look at Jared Goff that way. I don't look at Foles that way anymore. Trubisky, Daniel Jones still hasn't done enough. I like Dak. Dak, I got Dak right where Kirk is, but like for different reasons. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. I mean, Dak puts more pressure on your defense because I like Kirk. I love Kirk to death, but I think Dak has a little bit more grit. He's not afraid to put the ball, take the ball in his own hands and, get an extra first down. Kirk did that a lot this year. But Dak is just a baller.
Hey.
He was on before he – go ahead.
How about when Kirk ran, how weird it looked?
I remember you were like fidget in the booth.
I mean, he'd run and like Joe Cocker, I'd get all twitchy and everything. It didn't look right, but it was effective.
And that's all you ask for, Kirk. Hey, just extend the play. Like that. I mean, I think one of his goals this year is to get sacked less than 30 times. And man, Kirk getting sacked less than 20, 30 times this year, like that does so much for this offense. So
cool. Get Rashawn Slater, get Wyatt Davis, raise Ezra. Don't let Kirk get his ass kicked. And then we might be riding on a high at SoFi. Who knows? I don't know where he's supposed to be drafted, but do we need to get our hands on linebacker Anthony Butler of Liberty, your alma mater? Anthony Butler, do you know anything about him?
Yeah, he's a guy. So I watched pretty much every single Liberty game. So this year was a good year for us, right? Beat Coastal, which is our rival. Anthony Butler played he was a very impactful guy on this defense. I think he should have stayed an extra year, but I think for a guy like him, who ran a 4.8, I think he ran a high 4.8, 29-inch vert. Like no stats really pop out. Yeah, but he's a baller. Like he can make plays. He's durable. He's a guy that you can use on special teams. I'm not going to compare him to a guy like Eric Wilson, where you use him on special teams and that hard work and grit gets him into a role player position. But I think whoever selects him will be a guy, or will be a team that are very happy with that selection. He'll be a day 3 guy, if not an undrafted free agent.
Do you like money?
I love money.
You were a star wide receiver at Liberty. We have Kendricks and Barr and a bunch of competition. I hope maybe they brought back Todd Davis. I like Todd Davis, but he's not on the team. But if you give general manager Rick Spielman the right intel on Anthony Butler, and it's very risky to do this because if you're wrong, you probably will lose your job. But if you give him the right intel, you might get a massive pay raise. Your thoughts?
Hey, Rick, if you're looking for somebody in the 6th round, 7th round, he's your guy. I mean, and if I'm betting money on Anthony Butler, I will bet money and say he will be a solid special teams guy to start off the bat. But
what I'm saying is he's so busy trying to find offensive linemen and edge rushers and maybe a sneaky quarterback. Coaches on that staff. You can do the work for everybody because they're super busy, and that's where the dice roll. That's where the dice roll takes place. Hey, if they come up the right number, ding, ding, ding goes the paycheck. If not, might be done.
Yeah, I think I might leave before I'm wrong. So at that point, I'll be, hey, PA, you need an assistant this week because I was wrong on my pick about Anthony Butler.
Yeah, and then after that, if you're wrong on the pick, we'll see. Hey, it's Ron Johnson from the PCO Studios, set to interview Michael Pierce, or it might be Ben Lever or whomever. Hey, it's been my pleasure meeting you and having you on at KFAN.com. You're fantastic, man. You're doing great work at Vikings.com. See you out there very soon. And for the football team, man, let's get lucky in the draft and let's get some really good players. And we'll see you in studio soon, 9 to noon if you have time. Bless your wife. Tell her I say hello. And good to know you guys are settling in a little bit.
Go Hornets. I like the headband.
Go Hornets. Miles Bridges. Devontae Graham for the producer, Nordo.
Love it.